You're going to get used to me dancing into these intros. You are going to get used to this because I'm getting used to it. This is great. What a wonderful performance. Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk. Back again with you guys for another show after Arsenal have won 2-0 at Wolves in what I described as in the preview show as Arsenal's and Arteta's biggest game so far. And what a win that is. I mean, we'll break it down into its individual parts, but overall, just on paper, what a spectacular result that is. To consider that Arsenal had lost to Manchester City, been absolutely stuffed after being sabotaged by David Luiz, into the next game against Brighton, utterly destroyed mentally by Brighton, to turn that around, to win against Southampton, win against Sheffield United, win against Norwich, and now win against Wolves, of which 3 of our 4 games have been clean sheets as well. Unbelievable stuff. Let's get some initial reaction from you guys. Ashwin Watkins, one of our members. If you want to become a member, again, access to exclusive content. Tomorrow, I'm going to be recording a show with John for our Plus members. So there's going to be an additional podcast for you guys. Expert members are going to get access this month, a little bit later on this month, to the Expert Members podcast. A couple of guys have sent me some interest already, and we're trying to work out some dates. But if you are an expert member and you want to come on the show, you don't have to go on the camera. If you don't want to, you can be off screen. It's up to you. But obviously, camera preferable. No one wants to be like Drew, let's be honest. But if you want to do that, then make sure you sign up and then let me know. So Ashwin says, lovely, well done, Arsenal. I have seen us before. I haven't seen like us perform like this in a while, 100%. Another one of our members, Premod, says, great game. We showed a lot of fight. Carl Halberg, amazing win. Winning at Molineux isn't for everyone. Owen Young, who, by the way, I'll link this in the description afterwards, has done an interview with me, which is on this Arsenal website. So make sure you go and check that out. I'll leave it in the description after this is finished going live. Really good stuff. He says, confession, I may or may not have screamed Lacquer when he scored. My apologies. He's put John's emoji in there as well. Yeah, members get access to emojis. It's great stuff. Dave Atkinson says, 11 clean sheets since Arteta took over. Beerus says, reminded me of Graham's Arsenal. Typical defensive performance. Fantastic stuff. Tiger T, another one of our members, says, solid performance and another clean sheet. Archie, Eddie Hatters sit down. Eddie Hatters. Eddie Haters sit down 100%. I thought Eddie was brilliant with the amount of running that he made. Right, speaking of which, let's go through the performance. Going to open the window because it is ridiculously hot in here. So, starting off with the lineup, obviously no Pepe. I mean, we won a game in a sense using a lineup which was so much more aligned to a defensive styled system. You've got Saka in the front 3, who is a more defensive minded player than, in the sense that he can defend better. Not necessarily that he's a defensive minded player, but he's certainly more so than that of Pepe. So I think that in the front line definitely helped us win the ball back up the other end of the pitch as much as possible. So that was good. And then you had a back 3 of David Luiz, Kolasinac and Mustafi, who 2 of them were great. David Luiz was really, really good, cleared so many balls, good passing, really tried to find that ball over the top, arguably maybe too many times. Mustafi was solid, did a really good job at right centre-back. Kolasinac, though, got on my nerves so much throughout the game. His passing was really questionable at times, really, really questionable. And he looked, every time, I know Adama Traore is a really good player, and his pace is lightning, but he got inside Kolasinac so many times, and that position worries me. I'm hoping that we're going to see Holding come back in soon, because Holding is just, he's so much more solid for me than what, obviously, and without Marie in there, because obviously left-footed Marie, he probably would occupy that role, but he helps out with Tierney a lot, but he just didn't, for me, perform today as best he can. He gave the ball away a lot and put us under a lot of pressure. I don't want to focus on too many negatives whatsoever, because I thought it was a great day. Kieran Tierney was great, running up and down. Yes, he got done inside out a couple of times by Traore, but he also got a foot in a fair few times on the guy as well. The reason why I think Arteta decided to take him off was because he's played a hell of a lot. He was then up against a rapid winger slash wide fullback in Adama Traore, and for me it was really, really good to see Arteta recognise that, bring on Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and Mainsley, the boy, was so tenacious at the end of that game. He was battling for balls. He was kicking players when he needed to. He was jumping into fouls. Yes, he got a yellow card, but I liked that. I liked the commitment of the guy. I thought it was excellent the way that Mainsley came on. Really, really did some fantastic stuff, which makes you think, as a player that can be a squad player and someone that could be at this club as a utility man. I know that he probably won't like me saying that, but sometimes you need those players in your team. Someone who can play multiple positions on the pitch: right wing back, left wing back, centre midfield, centre defensive mid, even right wing. So like someone who is going to play multiple positions is so key, and Mainsley was brilliant when he came on. Moving into the midfield, Xhaka, flawless. I mean, maybe not flawless, but it was really good. Passing, excellent. Tackling was really good. Yes, there were a couple of times he gave the ball away, as we always see from a Xhaka performance. Let's be honest, it's Xhaka. You're going to get those types of balls that go astray sometimes. But my God, he was so commanding in the middle of the field. Ceballos, I thought, struggled in certain areas of getting the ball out, and sometimes he hung onto it for a bit too long. But other than that, I thought Ceballos did really well. Dealt with a very, very physical midfield in Wolves, and that led us then into the front line. Aubameyang didn't score today, but he did a lot of running, and he covered the left wing back slot a lot. He was back there defending. Really appreciated a lot of what Aubameyang did defensively today. And Nketiah, as I've already mentioned, absolutely run into the ground, pressed the back line, forced them into errors, forced them to kick the ball long, which they don't particularly like to do. They like to build from the back, do Wolves, and so he forced them into making mistakes. That was really, really good. And of course, Saka going through the goals. We didn't get too many chances, it's fair to say. We really didn't. And we only started pressing, ironically, when we went 2-0 up at the end. And Saka got on the end of a chance. We had one chance, really, in that first half to score, and it was that one, and Saka took it brilliantly. What a way to mark his first game after signing a new contract. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Substitutions, we've already talked about Mainsley. Willock came on, ran everyone into the ground again. I wish he'd have scored. He should have absolutely walloped that shot that he had an opportunity for right at the end of the game, but he could not quite get his foot onto it. Gutted that he didn't score, but he was involved and obviously set up Lacazette, who then came on. And Lacazette, this guy has been battered by not just me and criticised and said that he's in a goal drought and his mentality and confidence must be on the floor, but he came on and he scored the most classic Lacazette goal you'll ever see. Takes the ball, goal side, he's not goal side, turns the defender, swivels, and then smashes it past the keeper. Not into the top right-hand corner goalkeeper's side, but across the keeper off the post. Clinically, something and a word that I've not used with Lacazette in the last couple of months, or longer than that because of lockdown, of course. But fantastic to see Lacazette get on the end of it and make it 2-0 and secure the win. Brilliant stuff. Let's go into the chat box then and get plenty of your reactions to a fantastic Arsenal win. Avon at Tennington says, tremendous assist from Willock. Yeah, the guy was brilliant when he came on. Yeah, he didn't score his goal. He could have been a bit better in that sense, but he did everything. And you know what? One man that we've not mentioned really so far is Mikel Arteta. And Arteta's in-game management of today was second to none, was class. And any doubters about Arteta need to be honest with themselves and think, right, okay, he's now got 4 wins on the bounce. 3 of those have got clean sheets. He's made some really good tactical decisions in the game, like Mainsley today, bringing on Lacazette for Nketiah, which seems like an easy decision to make. I get that. But you've got to give credit where it's due. Arteta, brilliant stuff. The way that he has galvanised this team is immense, and I'm loving every single second of it. And whilst there are the classic sort of nerves around Arsenal, especially with just a fragile 1-goal lead, I was really sort of impressed with how well we defended. Really good. And Martinez as well. That's someone else I didn't mention. Matt S says, Martinez, A++ performance again. Fantastic saves. Brave, even from minute go, when obviously Adama Traore ran through. Brave, really got in there, won the ball, claimed crosses from corners, got involved with the long throws. Man, that long throw technique from Wolves. I have to say, the Wolves were dire. They were dreadful. They were physical. They were dirty. They were clearly had a bit of a vendetta against Arsenal today. And I have to say, they're unbeaten in their last 8 matches. They're the form team in the Premier League, and we've just gone to their ground and got one over them. Now, you have to say, of course, that Wolves' ground, Molineux, I believe it is absolutely rocking when the Wolves fans are behind them, and that would have definitely had an impact on the game for sure. But Arsenal dealt with this situation really, really well. And I think, ironically, we started off thinking Project Restart. Why did we restart things? But things have really, really turned a corner now. Matt Gray, another one of our members, says, really happy for Laka. Hope this builds his confidence and he can kick on for the rest of the season. Calvin Cloet says, hi, Tom. I'm super impressed with overall game management today. Absolutely brilliant. Avinash Singh, another one of our members, says, these wins are important not only for European football, but to turn the momentum going into the next season and the promise of Arteta as manager for the transfer window. I'm really hoping they back him. Because you look at this team, and if you look at them and think that the way that he's turned some of these players and improved some of these players, if you add a Thomas Partey, if you add the creativity of a Szoboszlai, if you add, even if we're in dreamland, an Upamecano or another centre-back that's really going to come in and do well, and you, of course, think about Saliba coming in as another prospect as well, you've all of a sudden just got a team which looks on paper so much better, quality throughout the side, in depth. And that's not even thinking about possibly moving on players for fees which could sort of re-go into the club and use that money again to sign players that would really improve the team. Looking at the right-hand side, Cedric, I thought I was impressed with Cedric, actually. I thought physically he was good. There was a ball that went into the box that with Jimenez that a lot of people would have argued possibly could have been a penalty, but I felt that it's a 50-50 ball. Ball's going to the area, and he's done physically everything that he needs to do. Jimenez is already in the air going for the ball, and so does Cedric, and I just thought that he outmuscled him in that moment, and that's why. Michael Oliver, who I thought had an absolutely dreadful game, despicable referee. I hate his guts. hate his guts. In terms of what he was on that, just purely today, hating him for today. It was so frustrating watching a referee just lose control of the game. He lost control of elements of it, and it was really, really frustrating. A friend of mine, Liam, says, who is that pick behind you? Was he a good player for Arsenal? He's a Spurs fan, guys. Well, he's not a Spurs fan. He's a Gills fan. But if you want to go and get him in the chat, please feel free. Kitchener says, another brilliant performance from Sebastian Xhaka. They bossed that midfield while being outnumbered 3-2. Khalid says, Kolasinac, Tierney, Ainsley is what we call him. Please refer to him by the TGT nickname. All faced Traore very well. And the fact that we had to have 3 players throughout the course of 90 minutes to deal with this guy shows you how good he was. I mean, if we were to put a cheeky bid in for him in the summer, no qualms about that whatsoever. I think it would have to be upwards of 50, 60 million for the guy. But he is a hell of a player, and Wolves are going to get a massive fee when eventually he does move on. Harry Robinson says, what a win. Arteta masterclass. He definitely needs to be backed. Potential world-class manager. Yonit Mack says, great performance today, but if fans keep saying players were a lot better than they actually were, they'll be content with their performance. These players need honesty, even when we win. I think I get what you're saying, Yonit, but at the end of the day, this is easily the biggest win of the season when it comes to the league, by far. We're beating the informed side in the league, who Wolves have been fantastic this season. We're now putting ourselves, 2 weeks ago, I was telling you the league is gone. The league is not entirely gone. We've 5 games left now, I think, in terms of getting back into the Champions League. The thing is that 5th spot, it all depends with 5 games left. If we can win the games that we have left, in which we don't play any more teams above us besides Leicester, who seem too far away now with 9 points, but if you were to get that down to 6, you got to think that the other teams around us, in fact, what we should do is that we should look ahead. If we go to Arsenal fixtures, let's go through the different fixtures, and then we'll see how we think we're going to get on, because if we think about how many points we're going to have at the end of the season, we like playing this game on the show. We like going through the games and seeing how many points we're going to end up on. So at the moment, Arsenal currently sit on 49 points. Okay. So if I share the screen for you so you can see what I am doing. Here we go. Right, so Arsenal's fixtures are, we've just beaten Wolves 2-0. We then have Leicester I mean, tell me in the chat box what you're thinking. I'm feeling like we will win that game. So I'm going to go 3 points for that one. Spurs, I think that's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 there. Liverpool, I think that's going to be a draw again. I mean, we might lose that one. City's obviously in the cup. Villa, I think we'll win that game. Watford, I think we'll win that game. So that leaves us with 11 extra points, leaving us on a total of 60. Okay, let's look at... Can I open this up? I don't think I can. Can I open this up? Come on, stop being slow. See, this is where I need to invest in a new laptop, because this is a joke in terms of the other fixtures. So if we look at Wolves' fixtures, there you go. A bit of admin. So Wolves currently sitting above us on 52 points. And they then play Sheffield United away. I mean, away and home, does it really matter? Does it really, really matter these days? Probably not. But if we look at Sheffield United, they're probably gonna. I'm gonna go for a Sheffield United win in that game. I'm gonna go for a Wolves win against Everton, or that could be a draw. Burnley, I'm gonna go for a draw. Wolves Palace, I'm gonna go Wolves win. Chelsea Wolves, I think Chelsea will win that. So that would leave them with 7 points, which would put them on 59. So we'd finish 1 point ahead of Wolves. Let's go and have a look at the next team, which is Chelsea. Chelsea. This is, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I'm just going to get my hopes I'm just going to get my hopes up, aren't I? Here we go. Why has it done that? Come on. Oh, no. See, this is where my laptop just lets me down. Come on. Okay, so they're playing Watford today. Right now, they're playing Watford. I think they're going to win that game. So that's 3 points. And they're currently sitting on, what, 62? 62? 54. Well, they're currently sitting on, 54. So I think they'll win that. That's 3. They then play Palace. I think they'll win that. That's 3. Sheffield United, I think that could be a... I still think Chelsea will probably win that. I'm going to put a draw down. Norwich, they'll smash. Man United, I think they might lose that. I think United, if they keep up their form, will probably win that game. And then they've got... Oh, sorry, that's the cup game, isn't it? And then you've got Liverpool, which I think will be probably a win for Chelsea. But if Liverpool turn things around, possibly a draw. And the Wolves game, I said that Chelsea would win that, didn't I? So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 14. So they will finish on 68 points. So well ahead of Arsenal. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Let's keep going. Let's go for Manchester United now. All I'm going to do here is just make myself feel absolutely dreadful, aren't I? Manchester United. Sorry, I'm being so... I'm not really looking at my chat at the moment. Let's have a look. Let's keep going. Let's see what some of you guys are saying before I move on to the Man United stuff. Diggy Sig Scott says Sheffield are the team that will help decide the Champions League places. Kenny K, is that Kenny Ken? It might be Kenny Ken. It might not be Kenny Ken. Tell me, Kenny K. Are you Kenny Ken? It says Arsenal definitely in Europe, but now it's working towards Champions League. Alvan says everybody's sleeping on Willett. Man changed the game. Arteta deserves huge credit. Almost every pundit discredits Arsenal. This will hopefully shut them up. This game was a very disciplined performance. Tekos Man says, with a positive attitude, we could still catch Liverpool. Brilliant stuff. Euros says, if Bournemouth get relegated, should Arsenal go for Ake? That's a big shout. Tiger T says, we can draw all of our other games. I only want to beat Spurs. We have to beat them. Fingers crossed. Avanash says, is St. Totteringham's Day coming? I mean, Spurs look in an awfully worse position than us right now, don't they? And I'm loving every second of it. Unlucky Liam and Tomo. Continuing on then with Man United, who currently sit on 55 points, 6 points ahead of us. They go to Villa. Okay, so we think they're going to win that. They'll win that game. They go to Southampton. They're going to win that game. They're going to go to Crystal Palace. They're going to win that game. They go to Chelsea. Did I say that Chelsea would win? I said that Man United would win, didn't I? Or did I put a draw? I might have put a draw. It looks like I've put a Chelsea win. Yeah, so I'm going to go for a loss there. I said that again. I've done that twice now. That's the cup final. I think they'll win against West Ham, and I think they'll win against Leicester. So that means they're going to win the rest of their games, which leaves them on 70 points, which would put them above Chelsea. At the moment, we're finishing 5th in this. Oh, wait. No, we're not. We're finishing 6th because of Leicester. So let's look at Leicester's fixtures. This is the decider. And of course, we play Leicester. Okay, this isn't looking too good. Chris Akumi says, Tom, any chance of top 5, please? We're trying to work it out. We're getting there. We're getting close. Okay, we're getting close to working this out. So, Leicester's fixtures. They play us next. I said that we would win that game. So, Leicester currently on how many points? 58. 58 points. Leicester, so they're going to lose that game. They then play Bournemouth. I mean, if Bournemouth play like they did today offensively, they could get something. But I think, let's be honest, Leicester are going to win that game. Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United could get a result there. I'm going to put 1 point. Tottenham. Imagine asking for Tottenham to get us a score. I'm going to go that Spurs are going to win that. And they play Man United on the last game. And I think Man United will win that. So Leicester will finish on 62 points. So that would leave us in 6th place. With finishing above us Chelsea, Man United, Leicester, Liverpool, and Man City. So that leaves us in 6th. I'm not going to do the Spurs because it's pointless. So there you go. It's still looking incredibly unlikely that Arsenal get a Champions League spot. Even if we were to win the 2 games against Spurs and against who's the other big game? Liverpool. If we were to win those 2, that would put us on to 64, in which case we would come above Leicester if the results go the way I said they would, which could put us into Champions League contention. But we'd have to win the rest of our games. I mean, do we realistically think that's going to happen? Probably not. So if you're looking at the season, you're looking at Manchester United finishing 3rd on 70 points. Chelsea finishing 2nd on 68 points. Leicester finishing 4th. Have I got that right? 5th, sorry. Leicester finishing 5th and us finishing 6th. Okay, so 70, 68, 62 and 60. So, I mean, even if you think, Owen says, all this maths for Louise to destroy your hard work, it's probably exactly what's going to happen. But that's the predictions. So let me know if you agree with any of those. Khalid says, so basically we have to beat Liverpool. Effectively, yes, that's what we have to do. We have to get a result against Liverpool. Feng Sport says, what the hell are you on about? Man City. Yeah, we've said Man City are going to finish 2nd. So it's going to go Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Leicester and Arsenal. And Arsenal would miss out on Champions League football by 2 points if we were to somehow not lose a single game between now and the end of the season, only draw against Spurs and Liverpool. I'd hope we get a win against Spurs. We have to, of course, beat Leicester. And we're thinking that these results... But funnier things have happened. So, you know, who knows when it comes to Arsenal. That is going to be the optimistic end to today's show. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Tomorrow will be the podcast at 8:30 p.m. with some of the boys from the show. Really looking forward to that. I know that Kenny Ken is going to be coming on with a couple of the other boys as well. So really, really looking forward to having a chat with everyone on there. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you. What a win against Wolves. Fantastic stuff. As we always like to end the show, please can you sum up this game in just the one word, please? Thank you very much. As we like to do every single time. Come on, you Gunners, says Tekos, man. Ratings? No, we don't. We like to just rate players, just like analytically, not with numbers. Numbers mean nothing. I mean, if you're going to do player ratings, you're going to be putting Bella in at a 2. So, I mean, come on. Avon Tillington says majestic. Joseph Maseko says gritty. Ajit says solid. Kitchener says energizing. Owen says Mikel, great word. Zach Flair says sublime. Asmit says there were 600 people watching. There was. Thank you ever so much, everyone who has tuned in this evening. Fantastic stuff. Really good support from everyone. Really appreciate it. The Tone Crafter says uplifting. Frederick says superb. Anonymous T says team. Jamie Phoenix says awesome. Andrew Marshall says wowsome. I mean, that's not a word, but I love it. Collaboration says Tiger T. So there's some fantastic stuff from everyone in the chat box today. Really appreciate you tuning in, as you always do. Over 600 of you tuning in today, which is amazing. Thank you ever so much for your support. Really, really appreciate it. And that's peak time, 600 people at once. It's probably gone into the over 1,000, which is amazing. So thank you ever so much, people. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you sitting here and listening to me waffle on about where I think we're going to finish the season and where the other teams are going to finish. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. Drop a like on the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and turn those notifications on so you never miss a show. We'll be back again tomorrow for the podcast, but as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.